Hey guys, Justin Bryant here from selfmadesuccess.com. In this video, I'm going to show you 12 skills that millionaires master and tools you can use to get you there. So, if you want to be a millionaire, if you want to be very successful, these are 12 skills you need to be working on. Even just having 3 or 4 of them will get you extremely far, maybe even make you your first $5,000 a month or $10,000 a month. But if you really want to build an empire, you want to really be wealthy, then I recommend you work on these skills. Some of them you may have already, I'm sure you do, but if you can master all 12 of these and just keep these in mind, maybe write down a checklist of them so you can always remind yourself of it. And then just use the tools I recommend to you, like books, videos to watch, software, things like that I'm going to recommend to you. You can really be productive. You can really take yourself from zero to millions of dollars pretty quickly. So as a side note, I'm going to have all the stuff that I mentioned in this video, all the show notes, all the resources, and all the related content in one page on selfmadesuccess.com for you. And you can find that in the first couple sentences of the description of this video. So don't worry about copying all these links and trying to write a bunch of stuff down yet. The first thing you need to master is learning, okay? That's skill number 1. If you're not making yourself a little bit better each day, if you're not learning something new each day, you're going to be getting worse because your competition's always getting better. If you want to develop new skills, at least read a chapter a day, at least listen to some kind of podcast that can help you. Do some reading on blogs. There's plenty of great ones out there. Do something to improve your mind a little bit each day. If you want to learn how to do this and develop new skills pretty quickly, then watch this video by TED Talks on YouTube. It's called The First 20 Hours How to Learn Anything by John Kaufman. I've watched this all the way through. It's only 19 minutes long, but it's very helpful for helping you understand how just 20 hours can help you go from zero to very much above average in any skill in just 20 hours. So watch that through. It'll teach you the art of learning. If you want to take it to the next level and you really want to learn skills quickly and actually master them as quickly as possible, and the best strategies to do so, as well as giving an example like becoming a good cook, The 4-Hour Chef is the book for you. I definitely recommend this book. Pretty much any book by Tim Ferriss is great, but you want to look at this one when it comes to learning. Also, you're going to learn how to make good food as well. That's healthy for you, so that's just an added bonus. But really, it's a book about learning disguised as a cookbook. So you want to learn that. Great reviews, very to-the-point book. It's going to give you lots of resources as well. If you want to start improving yourself and you're not sure what books to read, there's a list I have here for you called 50 Books Every Entrepreneur Should Read. I'll have a link to this in the show notes page, but it covers things like Think and Grow Rich, The 4-Hour Workweek, Psycho-Cybernetics, The Science of Getting Rich. Different ones that will help you develop your mind, develop skills that help you make money, and things like that. So if you read a chapter a day in any of these books on this list, you will become much smarter and much more productive. Also, if you want a free tool, they also have paid versions, but the free version's very good as well. Just for taking notes on the things you learn, I recommend Evernote. You can use it on any device, mobile, tablet, laptop, any of those, and it's great for taking notes. Number 2, you need to learn how to delegate. Basically meaning you need to learn what things you should be doing and what things other people should be doing. So you have a choice of getting employees to do small stuff for you. So things like editing your website, you don't need to do that anymore once you're making good money. Things like posting on social media, things like balancing your books and things like that. You don't need to worry about small stuff when you're the boss and you're making lots of money. You need to focus on the big decisions and big activities. So when it comes to getting people to do the tedious, small impact stuff for your business for you, you can get employees, You can do freelancing. You can have freelancers hired to do specific jobs at a time without having the long-term commitment and the paperwork of employees. 2 places for freelancing I recommend: Upwork for more higher end tasks. Say you need somebody to develop software or an app or a prototype or editing for a bunch of blog posts. I would go there for Upwork. Fiverr would be better for, say, graphic design, if you need a book cover, or if you need a voiceover for a video, or if you need transcription services, something like that that's a little bit smaller that you don't want to pay a lot of money for. Fiverr is great for freelancing with that. And if you want to use technology, one of the better sites I recommend to you that's also free to use is ifttt.com, which stands for If This Then That. Basically, you create these things called applets, which automate a task for you. So it's kind of like a online software service, and you can tell it to automate things on social media, WordPress, YouTube, and all kinds of different things. Even your if you have a smart home or your office has smart home type of devices, you can automatically, turn on your coffee maker. You can automatically change the temperature of the room and things like that. So it could really save you a lot of time and do small stuff that you don't have time to do anymore. Okay, so learn how to delegate. Number 3, you need to work on time management. You only have so much time, and time is your most important asset. Not money. Time is your most important asset, trust me. You have 24 hours a day. You got to sleep, you got to eat, you got to do these certain things, but you need to learn what to do, what to spend time on, what not to spend time on, and how much to use on each one. So a great book for learning how to do this properly is called Eat That Frog. I love this book. It's one of my favorite as far as productivity goes, and it's a #1 bestseller in time management and things like that. So Brian Tracy's an expert on this subject. You will not be disappointed in this book. It will help you stop procrastinating and using your time efficiently. Also, I recommend you use a timesheet. So get a spreadsheet on Google Sheets, which is completely free. You can use it on Microsoft Excel if you want. And just track all the things you're spending time on. At the end of the day, write down all the things in this spreadsheet that you spent time on for the day and look at it. Ask yourself, what am I spending too much time on? What am I not spending enough time on? What are my goals? What are my priorities? And how can I manage my time better? So as you spend time on things, log them in a timesheet, and that will really help you out a lot. Also, when it comes to just keeping your schedule, staying organized, and things like that, I recommend Google Calendar. Also free to use, works on your phone, works on any device, your computer, and it will help you keep track of appointments, things you schedule, and when you have free time, when you don't. Number 4, prioritization. So you need to learn what to do more of, what to do less of, and what to do first. Okay, so Eat That Frog, that book covers that as well. It basically talks about eating your biggest frog first, which is just kind of a saying of meaning get the biggest, most important tasks done first. So it covers that in that book. Another book that really covers this is The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss. I know I'm mentioning a lot of Tim Ferriss books in this video, but they are very helpful for being successful and making your first $1 million because it's coming from somebody who's done it, and he gives you a lot of life hacks that you can use to get it done. 4-Hour Workweek really covers how to be more productive and how to build a very successful business. So when it comes to getting the most important things done first, Tim Ferriss, one of the tips in that book is to get your most important task done before 11 a.m. So you can't use things like lunch or other things that come up with your kids and things like that as excuses to not get your most important task done. Also, it talks about doing If there is one task that you got done this day that would make you feel like you were productive today, what would that task be? Figure that out and do that first. Okay. Another thing, Eat That Frog, he tells you to write down your to-do list and then label it A, B, C, D, and do your A task first. That means this is the most important, this is the second most important, and then you go in that order of what's most important and getting the most important things done first. There's a great chart I want to show you real quick that was also in the 4-Hour Work Week, and this is from thenewlyrich.com. I'm not sure if that website's still around or not, but credit goes to them. And it basically is a chart I want you to look at if you are wondering how to prioritize and how to decide what to do. So prioritization is very important. And when you're presented an activity, you ask yourself these questions. Will I enjoy this? Yes. Okay. Schedule it. If not, is it income generating? Yes. Can it be outsourced? If not, put it in your calendar like Google Calendar. If it can be, get a freelancer or software to do it. Okay, if it's not income generating and if it's not enjoyable, do you have an obligation to do it? Is it one of those things like a family thing or something that you have to go to but may not make you money or be enjoyable? If you have to do it, can it be outsourced? Yes or no? And make the appropriate arrangements. If not, eliminate it altogether. So either you enjoy it, it makes you money, or you have an obligation. Otherwise, don't do it at all. Okay? So it's a great chart. I'll have a link to that chart for you so you can use that. And last but not least, the Pareto principle. Wikipedia has a complete definition page of how this works, but it's the 80-20 rule. 80% of your results come from 20% of the things you do. It's covered in the 4-Hour Work Week. It's covered in a lot of the most successful books. It's covered in Eat That Frog. The Effective Executive book, another great one. I'm pretty sure it explains the 80-20 rule. But you'll find that most of your results come from only a few things that you're doing, and you can actually eliminate 80% of what you're doing and still get 80% of the results. So that's another thing to look into as well. Just find the things that work the best and focus on them. Number 5, another thing millionaires do is they're good at persuading. So you have to be, whether it's marketing, whether it's making deals with people, you need to be good at persuasion. I'm not saying you need to be outgoing. Personally, I'm not the most outgoing person in the world, but I had to learn persuasion for marketing purposes, for helping people. And you can write the most amazing book in the world. You can create the best course in the world. You can create the best product in the world. If people aren't persuaded enough to use it, then it won't matter. So this will really help you in terms of getting customers and getting deals made. A book I recommend for this is called Influence by Robert B. Cialdini, The Psychology of Persuasion, Revised Edition. So all kinds of different ways that you can use this book: audio, paperback, Kindle, but it's a great book for learning how persuasion and influence work and consumer psychology, things like that. When it comes to dealing with people directly, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie is a great book. I recently read this a few months ago. Great for helping you with people, no matter what kind of personality you have. It will help you create better relationships, which open up all kinds of opportunities. So those two books, there's not really a specific software or something that's going to make you better at persuasion. You just kind of need to know how it works, and those books will teach you. Number 6, health optimization. So a good millionaire knows how to stay healthy and knows how to make them feel good and energetic so that they can get the highest quality work done. So there's a few different things that I recommend for this. One book is The 4-Hour Body. I know this is the third Tim Ferriss book I've recommended. I promise this is the last one I'm recommending in this video, but I read this book and it blew my mind as far as how to eat, how to leverage different tools and different strategies to lose weight, gain muscle, improve energy, improve sleep, improve your intimate relationships, improve everything you can imagine that has to do with your body. This will help you feel better, therefore be more productive. This will help you look better, therefore be more confident, therefore be more productive. So this will help you live longer, probably. It will help you be more productive by feeling right and keeping your body the way it needs to be. When it comes to working out and things like that, I recommend a specific YouTube channel called Athlean I've been through a lot of fitness channels. I've been through a lot of different nutrition channels and things like that. This is my favorite one at the moment, called Athlean because it's by somebody who's actually certified to teach you about this stuff. It's not just some guy who has good genetics telling you to, going on YouTube trying to make money to tell you, hey, you need to do all this stuff and you'll get a six-pack. No, it's somebody who's certified, who's actually a personal trainer, who worked with professional baseball players, and he actually knows what he's talking about, and he backs everything up with science. If you don't know the science, then you don't know for sure that it's the right thing to do. So he teaches you how to get in great shape, be lean, be muscular if you're into that kind of thing, how to eat, things like that, and backs it up with science and therefore gives you the highest quality advice. If you're looking for a diet that will just help you feel good instantly, you can obviously edit this as much as you want. You don't have to necessarily go on a diet, just watch what you eat. But if you're not sure really a way of eating that you want to pursue, if you're just looking to start getting more energy and feeling better so you can get more work done, the paleo diet is one of the better ones that will just instantly give you a guide of how to eat, basically focusing on natural foods, and that's it, getting rid of all the artificial stuff. And that can help your brain function better. It'll help your muscle. It'll help your organs function better and things like that. So feel good and you will perform better. Number 7, budgeting. You need to manage your money better. So there's a few different tools I recommend for budgeting. Obviously, you spend a certain percentage for each thing. That's basically what you want to do. You divide your income up into percentages. A certain percentage goes back into your business, maybe through advertising. A certain percentage maybe goes into investing for your retirement. A certain percentage goes to, of course, entertainment, family expenses, household expenses, taxes, things like that. You have all these different things that you have to budget for. If you don't budget, you can get yourself in debt. You can mess up your credit. You can get yourself in a really big hole and destroy your business. And then you'll have to go work at some, job that you don't want. So budgeting is very important. Some of the things that I recommend for this are QuickBooks. QuickBooks is one of the ones that is always recommended, especially by CPAs, lawyers, people like that do your taxes. It's one of the best bookkeeping ones that tell you how much profit you have, what your expenses are, how to write them off, and things like that. And you can use it on pretty much any device. Mint is another one. You can go to mint.com. It has a great service that's similar to QuickBooks, and it allows you to pay bills. It allows you to check your credit score, budget, all that type of stuff, and keep track of your money and where it's going and help you save it. So those two are two of the best as far as budgeting. You can also get a spreadsheet by going to the Google templates area, and it will allow you to find some great templates to help you do this. Also, Microsoft Excel has a lot of templates as well that are official templates created by Microsoft. You can use those for budgeting as well. They have all kinds of spreadsheets that will help you organize that. Number 8, you need to learn how to improvise. And improvising is not something you can really just get a software for. It's something you just have to read about and understand. It's totally psychological. So what I'm going to do is recommend a book called Awaken the Giant Within by Tony Robbins. Another book I've read that I really love. It's got 4.5 stars out of thousands of reviews. I mean, it's one of the ones that really built Tony Robbins' career and really is one of his best-selling books. And it teaches you basically how your mind works, how to use emotions and your physical state and your mind, the subconscious, your conscious mind, to put yourself in the best position to succeed and achieve whatever your goals are. So when it comes to pursuit of success, you're going to hit a lot of bumps in the road, and this book will help you get through those, get past them, and give you strategies. Well, it's also not a book that's super long. It's actually a pretty quick read. You can read this in a couple days pretty easily. So I know a lot of books are extremely lengthy, but this one isn't. It's actually great, and take a few notes on it so you can help yourself be mentally stronger to be able to improvise when things get in your way as far as helping you succeed. Tracking. You need to learn how to track your numbers. So I showed you Mint and QuickBooks. These will help you track the numbers as far as money in and money out. But there's other things you need to track as well, especially from a marketing perspective. If you're going to build a business, you're going to have some kind of marketing, whether you're just trying to make money from sales or services or even just getting traffic to a YouTube channel. However you make money, you're going to need some kind of marketing, most likely. So there's a few things I recommend as far as keeping track of numbers, how to tell what is working and what is not. And Google Analytics is free. Definitely one of the best tools for analytics and tracking how your website is performing. Bitly is another one I recommend. It will allow you to track how many people click on any link, and it allows you to shorten the link, so it's great for Twitter and other social media especially. So when it comes to analytics, those two are great. Mint and QuickBooks are great for just money management. And of course, you can keep track of things through spreadsheets and things like that as well. If you have a YouTube channel and that's your business, they have great YouTube analytics that you need to be paying attention to, but knowing the numbers is one of the things that really contributed a lot to my success. I didn't get very far until I started paying attention to the numbers, because the numbers tell you what people are doing, whether they're buying, whether they're visiting, whether they're leaving, whether they're staying on a page or leaving, whatever it is. It tells you how people are acting when it comes to your business. And by knowing what people are doing and finding trends, it allows you to know what you're doing that's working so you can build on it, what you're doing that isn't working so you can eliminate it. Otherwise, you're going to have a hard time just getting from your first 1,000 to your first 10,000 a month, much less making millions. Number 10, you need to learn organization. You need to be organized. Of course, Google has plenty of spreadsheets you can use for keeping track of time, sales, expenses, things like that. But you're also going to want to be organized as far as where you work in your home office or your lease space, building, whatever it is. You need to be organized with your digital activities and your digital files. You also need to be organized in your home, in your office, wherever that is, and your personal life. It will help you get rid of a lot of headaches and get more productive and get things done faster by knowing where everything is, by having everything organized. It will also help you legally, whether if you get audited for tax purposes, you'll have everything where it needs to be. It just helps you in every facet of trying to be successful. So I recommend you read or listen to this video about minimalism. There's actually 2 of them on TED Talks, and it basically talks about what it's like to let go of a lot of things and how to be more organized, keep a cleaner house, keep a cleaner home, get rid of things that you don't need to spend time on, whether it's a bunch of apps on your phone, whether it's businesses that you don't need to be dealing with, bad relationships, whatever it is, letting go and just being a minimalist, not necessarily having to be a minimalist, but just minimizing the clutter of all areas of your life. And that will really help you just stay more organized and keep things simple. And, the more stuff you do, the more stuff you have to keep up with all the time, the more of that, think of your brain as a computer. The more stuff you're doing all the time, the more you're using that capacity and that storage of your computer brain, and the slower you're going to be and the more problems you're going to have. So think of it like a computer. Keep it lean, get rid of a lot of clutter. It will really help you a lot. You'd be surprised. Number 11, millionaires minimize decision fatigue. If you notice, some of the top CEOs, some of the top startup founders, and some of the top presidents we've had, decision fatigue is something they are actually aware of and they try to prevent. So, as an example, President Obama, when he was president, he would wear the same, maybe 2 variations of suits every day. The reason he would do this, and I have an article here I want you to read, I will have a link to it for you, has to do with his productivity. So it's all about making fewer decisions that don't need to be made so you can make higher quality decisions on the most important things. When it comes to running a country, you have plenty of decisions. So he needs to focus on important decisions, not what am I going to eat this morning? How am I going to dress? What kind of toothpaste am I going to use? What am I going to do first? Am I going to, work out first? Am I going to eat first? Am I going to, just stupid decisions you don't need to be making. You need to keep your brain fresh for your business. So read that. It will teach you how a president actually did this. Obviously, he knows what he's talking about. Another article about Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs was one of the most successful and well-known CEOs in the tech industry, and he basically built Apple into the superpower they are today. One thing you may notice about Steve Jobs is he always wore like a black turtleneck and jeans. Basically, very few variations of that were ever worn by him. And you'll read in this article on medium.com that it was because of decision fatigue and how he didn't need to waste his brain capacity on things that were of little impact. So I recommend you read those 2 articles about, a president and a top-level CEO and how they would approach decision fatigue and how they would prevent their mind from being tired when they need to make important business decisions, as well as political decisions. If you want to read a great book, this was actually recommended by President Obama on making decisions quickly or slowly and things like that. It's one of the best psychological books you'll ever read, especially when it comes to decision making and just using your mind to be as productive as possible. Thinking Fast and Slow by Daniel Kahneman. You want to read that. So decision making isn't just as straightforward as you might think. You can actually tire yourself out by making too many stupid decisions in the morning. And last but not least, millionaires know how to eliminate. So one book that really covers this is The 4-Hour Workweek. I recommend this book again. It covers a few bases in this video. One of them is, of course, prioritization. Another one is elimination. So let's go back to this chart actually. This tells you what to eliminate. So at the bottom, you'll see eliminate. When you're presented an activity, it needs to be one of three things. Will I enjoy this? Is it going to make me money? Do I have an obligation to do it? And if the answer is no to all three of those questions, then eliminate it. Okay? So there are also things, when you talk about the Pareto principle, 80-20 rule and all that, if you are wearing yourself out, you're spending too much time working, look at what's getting most of your results. Usually it's going to be just a couple of activities in your business that get most of your results. For instance, in the 4-Hour Workweek, Tim Ferriss talked about how he was stressing himself out working every day, 12 hours a day or whatever it was on his supplement business. And it turns out most of his clients were not making up for most of his income. So he eliminated those clients. Did he lose a little money? Maybe, but he helped his peace of mind and eventually focused on his best clients and people like them. That allowed him to scale up his business after he eliminated his other clients and make it a more profitable business than ever before. That's just an example of eliminating things that don't need to be done in your life. That is one thing millionaires all know how to do. So if you got something from this video, if you feel like you learned something about being more productive, becoming a millionaire, and some of the skills you need to work on, some tools that will help you, if you feel like you got something from this video at all, please like and subscribe so I can create more videos like this for you. If you want to mention some skills that most millionaires have that I didn't mention, or if you want to let me know what you thought about the video in general, let me know in the comments. I would love to hear from you. I'm always looking for feedback to improve these videos and make them better for you. And all the show notes, all the related content, all the resources and links that I mentioned in this video will all be on selfmadesuccess.com on one page under the same name as this video title. Also, in the first couple sentences of the video description, you can find that link as well. Other than that, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you have a great day.